welcome to the Junkyard Love Podcast.
At what age do we learn how to have better conversations? At what age do we learn to have better conversations with ourselves?
Ahoy, my dudes and my dudettes. Welcome to the Junkyard Love Podcast, where, before we get going, I like to leave a recommendation. And today's recommendation is in the form of a 10-minute and 48 seconds long TED Talk on YouTube. It is called What I Learned About Freedom After Escaping North Korea. It's crazy. You should totally check it out. Puts a perspective on your life for show. Today we've got Andre and Rob. It's a great episode. This was from February 10th, I believe. It's a little bit back in the archives. I'm working through the archives currently, as of course I'm not having new guests come face to face here with me at the studio. So I did and may be doing more video conferencing. I did some meditation, mindfulness conversation this morning with a friend that I recorded that I may upload in the form of a podcast. And I may be doing some more mindfulness meditation related stuff, audio things and guided meditations in the coming days and while we're on quarantine here. So be on the lookout for that. Anyway, here's the episode. I hope you enjoy it. Have a good rest of your day. Take care of yourself. Get outside and breathe some fresh air. Don't be afraid of the outside just because we're locked inside. Just be afraid of touching people and surfaces. Wash your hands. Let's go. All right, so we're going to start things off with Andre. You were telling me that eye clothing is actually like some sort of front for some sort of alien work.
Not alien, but it's a front for our space company.
Space company. Okay,
Yeah.
so you don't know anything about aliens.
Not yet.
What do you know about aliens? You sure? You lying?
I don't think I know anything.
You got to
about
tell
them.
me. You know you're obligated to tell me.
It'd be cool if they existed. I think it'd be awesome to not be alone in this massive universe. But
Okay, what do you guys genuinely think? Let's start with aliens for sure. Beto, pull this thing a little bit closer to your mouth when you're getting in there.
Okay.
But what do you think? Because like I feel like I was watching Joe Rogan and they like this, I think the CIA has officially like said like, yeah, we do have this saucer and we don't.
Mhm.
It's like actual government information. I think now it's not like they're like denying it. But I don't know, like what can we even do with that? What do you guys think?
I don't know. I totally believe in them. There was this one time I was out camping in Abernathy. Seen a lot of crazy shit out there. I saw.
Yeah.
Let's start with the UFO story though.
I bet you see a lot of shit out there.
All right,
Dude,
lay out the location for me. Like
Abernathy. If you've been out in the woods in the area, then you know where that exactly.
Imagine people who are listening to the podcast don't know the area. So wooded area.
So, you go out towards Long Beach. It's about 15 minutes out. You take Abernathy Road. You follow that road all the way till the end, and you get onto a dirt road. And there's just a whole bunch of dirt roads out there that you can take. A lot of people go out there to go shooting, to go camping, and
Throw
go-
parties.
Yeah, we used to party all the time out there.
I know. I was waiting for
And
that.
parties.
That's how it was for us, dude. If you think it's like different than people from like Florida per se, but that's what happens when you're from over here. So
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, one night we were out there. It was me and two other buddies, and I remember just randomly waking up in the middle of the night. I think I had a piss or something, and I look up at the sky, and I was like, "Whoa, what the hell?" I'm like, "What is that?" And you would just see like this light doing like all kinds of different like zigzags in the sky. Like, you know how like a plane would usually just go like straight, it would just keep going. This thing was staying in one spot, then it would go down and it would go up, and then it'd go to the left and then it'd go right. And then it looked like it was getting closer to us. So I woke up my friends and I'm like, dude, check that light out. And they woke up and they're like, what the fuck
oh,
is
they
that?
saw it too. This is the thing. I was
Yeah.
like, I thought you were going, dude, you poor guy. You're just out there by yourself.
Oh,
taking
hell
a
no,
piss.
dude. I woke
Let's
everyone.
look at this and it's gone.
I woke everyone up and I was like, dude, what the fuck? And
What?
yeah, it was the same deal with them. So that was the UFO story. And then, dude, there was this one time we went out there. This was probably like my senior year in high school. apparently the story is there's gypsies out there and like weird people and whatnot. So we went out there with a group of like 8. We were just, you know, driving around the dirt roads. It was probably like 10 p.m. and you make this one stop and we just like go look around, and I remember smelling like something was dead. So I flashed my light and there's like this shred up carcass of like a deer, and I get like this group to come check it out. I'm like, yo, everyone come check this out. And then the girls that we were with were like, like we gotta go. So we hop into the truck, and as we're because it was a dead end, so you had to do like the whole turn thing. Yeah. So we were turning, and soon as we turned the truck straight, we see this dude with long ass hair. Just, you can't even look at his eyes. He's just looking straight down and just like staring at us. Oh. And we're like, what the fuck? All the girls start screaming, and dude, yeah, we were like, what the fuck is that? So the dude with the truck, and then this, whatever it was, I don't know if it was a guy or a girl, starts walking into the woods, and the dude in the truck starts driving closer to him, and then the man thing stops and just like stares at us, and we slowly start driving off, and we just start saying crap to it, and then dude starts chasing us. And yeah, dude, it was so
like the intro to a crazy music video. Like,
dude, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know what it was. I mean, probably some sort of gypsy thing or some witch. It's like, dude, why are you out there? Dude, like I said, it was like 10. There. Yeah, dude, it's like, it's way out there. So it's like, why are you out here?
Well, did you see any other cars out there too?
No.
Like yeah, because it's like he's clearly living out there at some sorts, or somewhere by there, right? Like
he must have been near his home.
You were treading on his turf.
Yeah, that's like 2 creepiest. Actually, no, there was another time too. Abernathy's a crazy spot.
All kinds of shit. Hit me with it.
So there was another time we were out there. We were partying and whatnot, and we decided, let's just stay out here as long as we can. We'll just bring food and, you know, just live out here. So I think it was like we did it. So we were out there for a full day, and then towards the end of the next day, it got dark and it was just like windy and stuff, and we could just hear like something walking around us, and just like it felt like we were being watched.
You get that feeling, right?
Like, no doubt. Yeah. So we immediately all were like, fuck this, we're going home. And we just packed our stuff up. We didn't see anything. We just got so freaked out. And
yeah, at
that point, I think I was probably like only like freshman or a sophomore, so I was kind of like, holy shit, just get out of here.
Let's just leave. That's creepy, dude. That feeling is mad real. Like I always talk about everybody knows, and it's hard to explain, like you're driving on the freeway, you're going 70, and you like take a glance over at the motherfucker, and he knows instantly that you just looked at him, and he looks right at you.
I get that
like,
all the time.
Or you feel it, like it's some sort of like, and you know, if you're the victim of being glanced at, you're like, what the fuck is looking at me? Like you look over, you know, even if it's a little kid in the backseat of a car or something, like that. Isn't it where, you know, even going 70 miles an hour with like a metal boxer on us, you can get that feeling. So definitely when you're in like a, you know, a wooded area, like with your friends, like, you know, okay, we're vulnerable. Like it kind of reminds you quickly of like this fun and games we're having, is like you hear something and you're like, oh yeah, this is like the real, there could be something out there. Like it's like I could feel that.
I feel that all the time. I mean, not in the woods all the time, but at our stores, or especially at shows. If you look at somebody, then all of a sudden they look back at you, like you know, that you knew that you were looking at each other or something.
Yeah.
Strange.
It's just it's a missed love connection. That's all it is. Yeah. It's all these semi-truck drivers that I've probably been in love with just glancing my way. Andre, you got any alien stories? You got any alien or even weird?
One night I was out walking my dogs up the road at my house, where it kind of overlooks the whole town and stuff, and I was looking up at the sky, because I normally always just space off looking up into the, you know, into space. And I saw this a light, I guess, where it was some sort of it looked like it was an aircraft or spaceship or something, I guess. But it did some weird turning and stuff, where it like shot in one direction and then changed direction super fast and went in another.
It's like what I saw.
A plane can't just do that.
That's what I'm saying.
I saw the same. What technology do you know of that can do that?
Right.
Literally.
And then it just took off and disappeared. And I thought, man, that was pretty crazy. I need to get something like that. Sure beat driving every day.
Can't wait to get one of those.
That's my biggest thing. If we have this kind of technology already, like that's what we need to use for our space company, or what I'd like to use to get around, because traffic is a pain.
Yeah, like we can solve all this LA traffic. We don't have to build tunnels underneath LA, bro. We can just borrow that alien spacecraft
Anti-gravity.
and just shoot in. Have you guys seen how they like? I watched. There's a Bob Lazar documentary on Netflix. Have you heard of that? His name is Bob Lazar. But me and my buddy Eric just watched it recently, and then I had heard Joe Rogan and shit talk about it. But they talk about like what they think. Like the mechanism would be around like a flying saucer, of like how it would actually like move like that, and how it like bends space and time or whatever. And they're essentially kind of like saying, imagine like space and time being like a soft mattress, and like putting a bowling ball on a soft mattress to where like everything like falls into it. Like any roll marbles, it'd go towards it. So it's like very. I think there was like an important conceptualization that probably would have drawn that together better, but either way, it's some sort of like intense like space time. They're like, the only way that would work if those thrusters were actually moving as quickly as it made it look like it was moving, as if they were like bending space and time in this way. And they talked about it in some insane way. It's just like, what if that technology's here, man?
Probably has. I mean, for how big the universe is, we can't even really comprehend how massive it really is.
Right.
It would be pretty ridiculous for us to be like the only living species out there that is intelligent, or really any life. Like our planet is the only one out of trillions that has life on it.
It's incredibly unlikely.
If that's true, it really does raise the bar for how special that we really are. And obviously you look out into space, you don't just see life everywhere. So we really are special with everything that we have. But I think there has to be something else out there. At least something.
Well, there is other planets with water, so you would think anything with water has some sort of life on it.
Yeah, all the ingredients for life, billions of years. I mean, it happened here.
Exactly.
It happened other places.
Yeah, somehow we grew out of being like salamanders or whatever the hell the process was. The ocean is another weird one. Isn't that also crazy? Like space, it's the frontier out there. And like, there's so much to explore, but like we haven't explored. It's like only like fucking 6% of our oceans or something crazy like that. Like,
yeah, we know more about the surface of the moon and Mars than we do about the bottom of the ocean.
Right. Which is so crazy.
It gets so deep. I remember seeing a documentary of them emptying the ocean, and then there's this depth that's deeper. It's like 20 times the size of the Grand Canyon if they were to empty the. I remember seeing like the video. It showed like a plane next to this cliff, and literally it started like small, and then it zoomed out all the way, and like you couldn't see the plane anymore.
Oh yeah,
just because how big it was. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, and for aliens, I mean, you may not have to go that far, because they say that there's 2 moons in our own solar system, one around Saturn and one around Jupiter, that have a frozen layer of ice around it and a liquid layer of water underneath the ice. And so you could have a whole ocean filled of life on each one of those moons.
So what is it like? What is because when we think water, we think like, I don't know, what is it, like salt water, ocean water? Like, is it really water, or is it just like the compounds of water, like the elements
hydrogen
that we
and
know?
Oxygen. That's what water's made of.
Yeah, but is there like a bunch of other crazy ass shit mixed in with it, and it's kind of like a liquid close to water?
I don't know. I mean, liquid water of some kind. It might have some other stuff in it, but
hey, but even if we discovered gas that we know, like, we know how to turn that into like the gas form of water, we can even take planets like that and like, okay, what can we apply to this planet and get to where we need to go?
Yeah,
that's another interesting thing.
Possibly.
Yeah, I know that. So like, I was listening to this thing. It's just like a YouTube video, I think, but they were saying that 2020 is definitely going to be the year of like the moon, like of like people getting up to the moon and like actually doing work, like new companies and shit. Yeah, so like more people able to get to the moon, not just like the people who afford like the nice spaceships or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't know a ton about it, but it's interesting to think of. There's like some sort of treaty, I guess, like over 100 companies signed it, or countries signed it, that says like the Earth is, or the moon is like kind of like the sky, like you can't own it or whatever. But I think it's gonna get like weird. Like we're gonna have to remake laws because people are gonna start mining it and start taking elements from it.
The big thing that's changing with space is, before, exploration was always done by governments, all the way back from building the sail ships and moving out and starting colonies and stuff was all funded by the government. But now, with all the technology that exists and for things that are, able to be created nowadays, a lot of companies are starting to move into this space. When you have companies in there, they're there to, make a profit and do it a lot faster and get the ball rolling with in different ways. And governments normally move with different motivations. Of course, they got to go out there and make money. But if it's a profitable thing, then now they can keep doing it and, do a lot of other things that the government wouldn't be getting to for who knows how long, if not ever.
Right. I feel like it's we're at that time in like human civilization. Like we've like now, I mean, I don't think it's like brand new or anything, but there's always been ways, I'm sure, but there's a lot of ways like exceeding space. We've now advanced like past government. Like we're like, okay, well, the government laws, they didn't even take time to write them down about space. So we're just going to go do that while you guys figure out your paperwork in that old wood room.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, you see Elon Musk of everything that he's done. He started a space company and a car company. Yeah. Most two ridiculous, almost impossible things to do. And it's working, and he's changing the world, and he probably will start the colony on Mars here one of these days.
I absolutely believe it, dude.
And same for Mr. Amazon, Jeff Bezos. He has his own space company called Blue Origin, and they have plans of going to the moon and building rockets that are capable of taking cargo, that far to other places in the solar system. Richard Branson, he's the guy that owns Virgin Mobile, Virgin Airlines. They have a company called Virgin Galactic, and they're going to be taking tourists up into space on this plane that drops like a small spaceship, and then it fires a rocket and takes you up into like the edge of space.
And how much do you think that costs? Like 30 grand a ride?
It's probably like $250,000 a ticket.
It's going to be funny as like, it's going to be like more of a, over the 20 years or whatever it happens, it'll be more and more touristy. Like it'll be like,
it'll get cheaper too. So people will be able to realistically afford it.
Yeah.
I think like in 20 years, it'll probably cost like $10,000 or so to go to space. It's going to move a lot faster than what we really think. Like 20 years from now, there's going to be a whole of a lot more innovations and changes in the last 20 years than the 20 years before.
Right.
Things are speeding up faster than what we really can notice or even comprehend.
Yeah, things are speeding up at an exponential rate for sure. I think that a lot of people are like kind of just hoping that we're going to get to a point where like we birth some AI that starts taking care of all the information that we're getting. Like we have so much we're trying to do and so much quickly, and it's happening so fast that it's just data that we can't fucking handle in 24 hours with a human brain. Right. Like there's probably a ton of people who are like, hopefully AI just awakens and they take care of, they answer all these hard questions that keep coming up,
Hopefully. I mean, that's probably why they're talking about building a way to connect your brain into the computers, because how else can you keep up with it? Because our brains aren't built to go through that much information.
Yeah, it's so crazy. So tell me, we were talking about that a little bit. Tell me about what do you know about Neuralink? That's Elon's.
Yeah, they're basically building ways that you can connect your brain to a computer, and then you can control things like a car or a boat or a plane, or just controlling your regular computer, but just through your mind.
Right.
And so that's kind of the crazy thing to think about, the future of how far smartphones have came. But things are getting smaller and more powerful. So eventually we'll probably not even need to use our thumbs or our hands to use computers. You'll just think with your mind, because that's the fastest way that we can move.
Yep. Dude,
kind of a weird way to think about texting or communicating in the future when everybody's inside your head.
I know. What's going to be crazy is by the time it comes around, it's going to somehow seem normal. Like just as like if you would have told us, 20 years ago, like you're going to be carrying that thing on the wall with the cord, it's going to be in your pocket. You'd be like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not carrying that thing in my pocket everywhere I go.
Right.
Like, and now it's like, the phone is more part of us than our favorite hat,
Yeah.
We're wearing it every day.
Can't leave home without it.
Yeah.
Think about civilizations that are like a million years ahead of us. Like, what kind of technology do they have? A different way to see things too. Like, whoa.
Yeah. In a million years isn't really even that much compared to billions of years.
Yeah, I feel like the best technology.
That's even crazier to think about too.
The best and most patient technology is us. Like humans are like the slowest and most patient technology. Like we're like millions of years, but we took billions of years. Like whoever the fuck made us, whatever's going on there,
True.
Like been a long journey.
It's been. Do you guys remember it? It seems like it took a long time.
Yeah.
Oh shit, man. It'd be crazy to get. I think that I think I saw, so for the Neuralink thing, they were going to like, isn't like a thin needle and it's like implanted in your brain, right? It's like a chip. Like they don't have it totally figured out, right? It's not
it's kind of like a fiber optic connection in your brain. They implant it.
Yeah.
But eventually you probably won't even need something to be implanted into your brain. I'm sure you could just have like a hat or something, or maybe, as long as whatever the computer is can just read your neurons in your brain and scan which ones are firing. And that's the way that they can connect it into the computer.
Yeah, dude, it's so interesting because but at that point, when we get so much information about like human emotions and like I learn a lot about like trauma and like different like, people acting out of different ways. Like there was this one guy who essentially like he was a normal guy and he ended up like murdering people or like killing his family or something, but he left a note essentially like, there's something wrong with me, you should biopsy my brain. And they opened up his brain and it was a tumor. He had a tumor and it was pressing on him, and it was like that was like kind of leading to the reasons why he like went kind of insane and like killed people or whatever it was. But it's interesting, once we have all of this data, this information on everybody walking around, like where can we like place blame as society? Like, oh, you're a bad person, when they say like, oh, that brain is, or that neuron is firing this way, so we'll give you this thing to fix it. Like, I think that knowing all that information and like not just the person who's able to like, oh, I can send a text with my own thoughts, like that's cool, but also like, where's the information about your everyday thoughts getting uploaded to, and who's holding that data and who owns that data, and what does it tell whoever's holding it about humans? What can they do with it?
Right.
That's
the problem with humanity is there's a lot of good that you can do, but a lot of people are always going to use it for the wrong things, I'm sure, too.
All right. What do you guys think? You are two wonderful, fine gentlemen, and you're definitely both leaders. If you had fucking buco bucks, you got the money, you got the Skrilla, like Elon's a contact in your phone, you'd be like, bro, I need this money for this thing. Like, what would you invent? Like this is saying, this is a magical scenario where you also have like a bunch of scientists who you can be like, hey, I have this idea, you make it, and they'll make it. What do you think that you would invent, like with unlimited, like what problem could you solve?
Would it be for profit or just a way to give back?
Or is it just an idea that we've had?
Either or all three. There's no rules. What does your brain come up with? Hit me with it.
One thing I've always loved the idea of is to make machines that can go out and 3D print buildings or houses and things for people around the world, as a way that you could print a water filtration facility out in the developing area where people need water, or to produce power. Nice places to live and things like that would be really cool to build. On the other end of things, I think asteroid mining would be the most exciting part of my future of technology to build.
Yeah.
Because there's infinite resources out there in every direction that you can look. And there's also infinite amounts of money that you could make off of that. So,
do we know what's out there? Like the resources that are like say like Saturn's fucking asteroid belt or whatever. Like, do we know?
Yeah.
Do we know, like, is it, like, are they new elements to us out there? Do we know that yet? Or is it
the same stuff that makes everything on this planet?
Isn't that how the planet was created to begin with?
Possibly.
All the asteroids hitting it.
I'm not qualified to tell you that. That's a big question, but we know that all of the elements, that are here and all the materials and stuff exist in infinite quantities out there in space.
Yeah.
And some asteroids are full of mostly frozen water and ice, which we can use for oxygen, water, growing plants and things for space stations or exploration. Also rocket fuel.
Yeah.
You take hydrogen and oxygen, which are two highly flammable explosive gases, and you split them apart. And now you have rocket fuel.
Shit, bro, and being able to like make it quickly, like being it like as in like the asteroid belt is like a fuel up station for a rocket sort of thing. Like if they had a way that it's just like we just sprouted up a gas station for rockets.
Yeah,
obviously not gas, but
well, if you're building like a transport infrastructure up there, you would need to have fueling stations and everything. So this is what opens up all of these possibilities for the future of being multiplanetary or pushing further out off of our own planet. Is you need all the resources, because you can't just bring all of it off of Earth, because that's why you need all these huge rockets, and there's a huge amount of money that you have to spend. Because it costs $20,000 just to send a liter of water into deep space. Big bottle.
$20,000. That's so
crazy. It's a lot of money. You need a lot of water up there, and there's infinite supplies. Some asteroids have small lakes or even a small ocean's worth of water frozen into it. And then others have all the precious metals and platinum and different things, which we use for smartphones and computers and electric vehicles and everything like that. There's metals and pretty much anything that you need to build everything is all up there.
Unlimited resources.
It's not like you're going to be bringing all of this stuff back to the planet, but some of it, if you figured out a cheap way to send it back down, would be helpful. But there's just infinite amounts of things that you can build and create and do with it all up there. And if we're building the space stations, you're not going to be shipping off millions of tons of metal into space. You got to have the resources up there to manufacture up, in space with.
Right, that's true. Something we don't think about is like, let's build a space station up there, and you're just like, all right, well, put 6 2x4s in that rocket, and we'll get the rocket fuel going. Like it takes 6 days for the countdown because it's such a process and all the legal jump throughs. But we get those 6 pieces of lumber up there.
The International Space Station, that thing's as big as I think a 2-story house, about the same square footage of, or something like that, and that cost hundreds of billions of dollars to make.
Yeah, dude, and you see it in videos and stuff. You see them in there, and it's like, it doesn't look very big.
Yeah, it's not tiny, but you can see it. It's in the sky.
It's amazing in every way.
You can see it, going around. Yeah,
I don't think that I've ever known to look or known that I could see it. Do you know? Is there a specific place where it's you could probably see it very well, in the United States? Where was it?
Probably, and it might depend on obviously the clouds and maybe time of year.
Yeah.
There's a website that you can go to and it'll show you what time it's going to be passing over your area.
What a cool ass world.
Yeah.
We're able to just be I want to see that space station that's out there in space. You just go Google, where you at?
Right.
It tells you. All right, bro. I love both those ideas, mining the asteroid belts and stuff, and 3D printing water towers.
Oh, and planting trees. We need to build machines that can plant billions of trees a year. I think that would be a great idea too.
Yeah, excellent. I love that.
You always use that.
Okay. All right. Beto, what you got?
I've had this idea for a long time. It's nothing crazy. It's just how air conditioners, you got that fat thing sticking out of your window. So I came up with this idea called the cool air. And it's just, it's called the cool air. I actually have prototypes and drawings
damn right you
already
do.
Ready.
Hell yeah.
And
bro, somebody's
I was actually talking to Jim. I forgot that he worked for an air conditioning company, and I showed him the drawings, and he's like, yeah, this is a really good idea. He's like, we could definitely make this happen. And I was like, dope. So the whole idea behind it is, instead of having a fat chunk of metal sticking out of your window, I realized this when I was younger. I used to love just leaving the doors open on a hot summer day because I used to just looking out there and, having that air come in, but it sucked because it was warm air. So I'm like, what if cool air came in through the window instead of warm air? That way, it cools your house, but you also get to keep the window open. And the whole concept behind it is have it be a screen instead of this big metal thing sticking out of your window. That way you get rid of the metal thing and just have it be a screen rather than that. So that's kind of been my idea for a while, but it'll take some money to get that going.
Well, hey, in this scenario, you got whatever money you want. So you just made your fucking magic door.
Exactly.
Door, walkway, AC. I think that actually makes sense because instead of trying to make sure no hot air sneaks through these windows over here, or whatever. If you just turn in whatever's coming in, just are you saying convert it to cold?
Yeah,
bro, that makes sense.
You don't know, and I don't know, you might have to make some sort of screening to where it could do that, or I don't know exactly the technology you need, and maybe you might have to figure it out. Come up with the technology to create it, but it's possible.
The great thing about every new invention is that it's a new invention.
Exactly.
Yeah. New inventions, that's a weird thing. Every new invention, there is probably one guy who just looks like such a fool at the beginning. He just looks like such a dummy to everybody around him. He's like, no, this thing, I swear this is going to work, and then whoever he had to present it with, whatever amount of money any inventor really has at the very beginning of an idea that's not super conceptualized. They're just showing their girlfriend or wife these terrible drawings. No, this makes sense.
Right.
All these things.
Well, that's where every idea starts out at, is it has to be different, because if it wasn't different, wouldn't you already have known about it?
You got to ask yourself, what problem am I solving with what I'm creating?
Right.
That's a big question too. So,
And Steve Jobs even said the people who change the world are often the ones who are crazy enough to believe that they can.
Right.
So you are kind of a strange person, or weird, I guess, if that's what you want to say. If you truly believe that you have something that's different that you can create that can make a huge impact in the world. And a lot of people may not see it at first, and that's normal, because if they would have thought about it when they've been doing it first.
Right. Right, exactly.
Nobody adjusts to new things that easily all the time.
And you got to if there's one person who knows, like in the, that feeling we're talking about, like whatever it is, like, that feeling, like it's going to be you. Like if you're the one with the idea, you're like, fuck, I think I could like make this a thing.
You see it.
Like, yeah, you see it
already.
And it's, dude, I don't know, man. It's got to be like some gift from somewhere, right? It's some like, hey, like this is your job. Like this is something you're supposed to do. And you can answer the call, It's like not really. The muse doesn't whisper to people who aren't willing to listen, I guess,
Right.
So incredible. All right, boys, let's shift a little bit down to earth a bit. You guys we don't have to go into too much all of your backgrounds, though. We can definitely dip in a little bit. Beto's been on the podcast. Andre, I haven't had you on, but you guys, high clothing.
Till I die.
Till I die. How did you two like link up? Because I knew Beto back in the day. We had talked about like he was selling his shirts out of this trunk, like when I was DJing out in the woods on these same trails with the gypsies.
Dude, actually, check it. I just showed Andre this picture, and this is the one that we did for prom.
Prom?
Remember prom?
Yeah, bro. I had so much fun. I didn't go to my senior prom, so my senior prom, I took this internship like down in California, and I was like, it was like, oh, it's devastating not going to my senior prom, but I was like, I'm going to work instead. And so like making up for it, I was like, I'm going to throw my own prom 3 years later, and we're going to just drink a shitload of alcohol and just be illegal in the woods. That was kind of my
jungle juice, man.
The jungle juice. Oh my gosh, I would never do. We would do just like mix up. Oh gosh, just mix up like the most sugary bullshit you can find with the most fruit punchy shit you can find, the cheapest vodka you can find, and you'd sell it for $5 a cup. As he pulls up that photo, Andre, do you remember how you and Beto like first started linking up?
Yeah, I mean, we weren't friends growing up, but we just knew of each other because he's friends with more of my older sister's friend group and all of them. But we came together working on kind of like another type of a business project, sort of an online marketing type thing, and just started meeting up over that. And then, obviously the clothing business was a huge thing for him. And so that was part of our conversations. And then the lake came up and the Cowlitz County Fair came up. So I gave a hand with that. And then we just kept meeting up every single day and just in the garage, just scheming on, what we're going to do next. And,
That's all we did.
How many
spent so many hours just chilling in his garage talking about what we were going to do
dreams
to keep growing.
Yeah, just setting goals and talking about
writing shit down every day. Like, all right, we got to go target this. We got to go here. We got to figure out ways to keep growing the dream.
Sometimes what it takes, a lot of us have a lot of great ideas in our heads. Sometimes you just need like, not so much as like reassurance, reaffirmation, but just like someone to like kind of bullshit with you about it and like let you finish some of your half thoughts and like be like, oh yeah, you should do that, bro, and then help you create the whole idea. So that's something that's super dope. You guys want to expand a little bit more about like your conversations there, just because I think it's inspiring to like, a lot of times I think new friendships can really form through new businesses, through new ideas. I think like through this podcast, for example, like I'm teaming back up with people that I know them, but like our conversations are different. Like they're more like, we'll have those bullshit sessions where we're just like 3 hours of just like, bro, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And this is what I'm working on in my emotional side of life. And, I went through this thing yesterday, like just growth conversations. Right. Yeah. And I think that like, it's actually like when I have those conversations on the podcast, or bring them up, it's actually shocking to hear how many people they're like, wow, that was a real conversation. And I'm like, wait, you don't talk with your homies like that? Like, what do you mean? And so I don't know. Let's just, you don't have to give too many details, but like these conversations, what did you guys talk about? Like just for someone who is like, maybe they have an idea, maybe they have someone who's like, you kind of inspire me. Like maybe they should hit him up and be like, bro, you want to just bullshit and talk about ideas or growth or, you know, like.
We just, I don't know, we just talk about like, you know, look at the inventory that we have and figure out where we can sell it at. And then, you know, set an ambitious goal for, all right, we're going to sell this amount of much stuff at it. And here's what we're going to do next. And, you know, think about different ways that we could do things better, how we could improve what we're doing. Talk about just inspiring things or random things, you know, about space or the future and different things that make us excited and everything. And it's just helpful to have other people around you that they don't try to limit, you know, what you think that you can do. You know, they can help you put a new horizon further ahead of where you think is possible. And, you know, that you're sitting there talking about your ideas and they have their own ideas and you're like, hell yeah, let's go do this.
Right. Yeah.
You know, because there's so much negativity out there and there's so many people out there that they just want to tell you why your idea won't work or why you might have to be special or smart or whatever it is.
Right.
Which, I mean, I don't think that we're that special. It's not like I'm the most intelligent person out there in anything. And you don't have to have a college degree to go chase your dreams. You know, just depends on what you're doing and what you need to get there. And yeah, and then we just hit the fairs and thought, well, what do we do for the holidays? Maybe let's get a storefront somewhere.
Yeah.
And then we thought, all right, well, where? And we thought, you know, obviously the mall up here is pretty dead. It doesn't even get any busier during the holidays because there's nothing really to go see. Vancouver is a bigger area. And, you know, maybe we could check that out. So we thought, all right, well, how do you get a store inside the mall? And we got a hold of them and just said, hey, we'd like to come see about getting a spot there in the mall, like a kiosk or a store. And it turned out to actually be cheaper to get a storefront than it was a kiosk. So we thought, well, let's go for it.
Oh, it's actually cheaper? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was.
It's like $1,000 cheaper. She's like, just so you know, we have a vacant space that's $1,000 cheaper than the kiosk. And we're like, well, let's go look at it. I remember we went, checked it out, and I saw it already. You know, I visualized what the store was going to look like. And I was like, yeah, like this is it. But then I was hesitant. We were hesitant about it just because we were like, dude, like we don't have that much clothes. Like,
yeah, we got to fill these walls. Right?
How are we going to do this? So, you know, we were super hesitant about it. I remember we went and grabbed some Chipotle after, and we're like, dude, what should we do? We're like, well, scare money doesn't make no money, and pulled the trigger on it, and, you know, ended up making it work, because that's the thing. You got to hop onto the opportunity when it's there, because if you don't, you're going to let it pass by, and then you're going to be looking back like, dang, maybe I should have done that.
Right.
You know, instead, we're more of people that are just going to take action and figure it out on the way. Yeah, it might get tough, and it might be not be the best decision, but you just got to do it. You know, like if you're not going to do it, you're going to look back and just regret it. Like I'd rather have the pain of like doing it than have the pain of thinking about it.
Yeah. Pull the trigger, man. Once you got the store, it's like, all right, like we got the store. Now we'll figure out how to fill the walls. But like we got the store. Like it's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, we spread it out a little bit, you know.
Well, you guys made it work. It didn't look too barren there, really. I mean, that's I think like the boutique stores kind of help out too. Like there is like a simplistic. You could be like, oh, that's a one of a kind. It's like it's not just my last large. It's just one of a kind.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but you guys got fucking full shit now too, and.
Well, it was cool getting into there, because I remember that was the same year we did the Clark County Fair, and that was our first time doing that event. Yeah. And then we met a lot of people that went to that event. They're like, whoa, weren't you guys just at Clark County Fair? You guys have a store now? We're like, yeah,
we definitely did.
We got a store. So that was a cool feeling too. And that's the thing, like it ended up working out on our half, because at the beginning of the year in January, dude, our shelves were completely empty. We sold everything. People would come in and be like, where is everything? We're like, we sold it. They're like, wow, I guess that's a good problem to have. I'm like, it is a good problem to have, but it's also like we need more stuff on the shelves, because you're coming in here and you can't buy anything, you know?
Right.
So got to keep the flow
Bro,
consistent.
that's the thing about starting, you know, starting humble beginnings and just really doing it yourself, like not having like, $1 million investors where it's like, no matter if you're not even selling, we're still got backstock coming, bro. We still got backstock coming, It's
Few weeks
It just
away.
adds to the story too. You know?
I feel like it's
People
good though.
love the story.
It keeps your hustle though. I mean, like you see I'm sure you guys see like, oh, we're getting low on hoodies, and it starts like, fuck, we got to work harder, like we got to, let's get that shit filled up, so it's
Right.
good. It's good that it comes full circle. Fairs and doing more than just the store stuff. I feel like you guys have probably experienced some pretty cool stuff, right? Like, have you, whether it's like different kind of customers, what does like the fair crowd attract? How is that different?
You get to meet a lot of different people in a short period of time.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, because
I like it.
Is it fun though? Like you meet cool, nice people?
It's dope.
I always love it. It's a good time, especially during the summertime. The weather's nice, and we get to hit the road and travel around to different cities and set up for a few days. Or like Yakima is like a 10-day event, so we're on the other side of the state for a while.
Yeah,
and I always love talking to people and stuff like that. So we have a blast out there and everything.
Yeah,
and it's just so cool getting the reactions of people when they hear what it's all about. Like, that's what's the most priceless thing for me, at least, like just the expression on their faces when they're like, they see how passionate we are about what we're saying, and they just look at you in the eyes like, wow, like good job. Like, this is freaking cool.
Yeah, dude.
That's the best feeling
thing
ever.
Yeah.
Like that's why I love being in the stores. That's why I love going to these shows, because
Get to meet
I'm
them.
able to make that connection with my people.
Right.
This is our community. Even today, like I'll read something. So it was pretty cool. This lady came, we met her at the show, and she literally messaged us on Instagram, and I was just like, wow, like check this out, Andre. Like, this is fucking badass. Like, this lady really appreciates us. So she's like, I met you at the Sportsman Show today, and I have to say, what you do, what you stand for, and the message you put out, I will support that shit all damn day.
Hey.
Props to you and all your hard work. You have me sold to be a customer for life. I wish I would have bought more of your merchandise today. Keep up the hard and amazing work you do, fellas. So just
the thing of beauty.
Getting stuff like that, it's like, dang, dude, like we're really making an impact out here.
Right, the extra goes, but dude, you guys don't just like print a thing on a shirt and then like, all right, hopefully that one sells. Like, it's like you get to interact with people and you tell them about, here's what that design, here's what it's about, here's what it means. So when you're wearing it, here's what you can think about, what you can be feeling,
and that's the whole purpose of the design, is that hopefully you wake up and maybe you don't wake up on the right side of the bed and you look into your closet and you see one of our designs and you're like, I remember that conversation I had with those dudes. Like, I'm wearing this today to make myself feel better. I hope that's why people wear our stuff too,
Maybe that's why I'm wearing it.
Hell yeah.
I definitely like wearing this. It's orange, so that definitely helps, but I got my evergreen beanie on, or in it. I definitely wear it out in the woods, but I feel like it's like a good, I'll take like 10-minute like me talking about like meditation or some sort of emotional enlightenment, something, and I just got like my third eye here.
That's what it's all about. Keep that shit open.
I love it, bro. Yeah, I really like how it's the whole experience. When people come in and they get to talk to you guys, and I always repeat that, like they get the whole experience of what it's really about. And lifelong customers is definitely a thing. Like, just in our community, like you can go down, like, going down south, Portland, Vancouver, up here, obviously a ton. Like, you see people who are wearing eye clothing stuff, and they're probably going to get another hat next year. They're going to get another hoodie next year.
Even if it's the same design.
Yeah, they enjoy it. They like repping it.
No doubt. Yeah. And another thing that I like about the community that we're building, it's like people will see someone rocking eye and go up to him and be like, oh, you're rocking eye clothing? Like, fuck yeah. Like, those guys are so cool. Yeah. And it'll spark a conversation. Like, I had my friend Maddie message me the other day. Her daughter was wearing the Forever Green Tree tee at one of the jumping houses. And she literally messaged me. She's like, yeah, my daughter was wearing your t-shirt. And some lady came up to us and was like, I love those guys, Beautiful. And then they just started talking about us and whatnot. So like the fact that people are out there literally talking about us while they're wearing our stuff is like pretty cool. It's like, it's a humbling feeling to know that people will see our designs and just go up to someone random and just spark a conversation with them.
Right. Yeah, it opens up like a whole like it's kind of like so say I'm in Chicago, right? Like I don't know anybody, but I like the Seahawks. I'm from Washington, you know. I've got my Seahawks my hat on, you know, Seahawks, and I see somebody else in Chicago and they got their Seahawks jersey on. Like instantly I feel out of place, and then I see them and I'm like, oh hey,
I know
hey, bro,
you.
we have this thing, you know. Dude, and I creates that, and it kind of brings out this side of people. Like, you know, if you see a 12th man shirt, you're like, what's up, brother? Fuck yeah, fucking Russell, like you're pumped. But like I brings out this like, oh bro, like you like you love life, don't you? Like that's you know, it's like this like you respect the world around you, don't you? Like
it's all about spreading positivity out there.
Yeah.
That's the best thing too.
Yeah.
You know, we're just putting a positive message out there and something that people can look at and that can maybe help change their perspective or brighten up their day in any way. And that's even more motivating for us to want to just work even harder and keep putting more out.
Okay, man.
It's a cool community, and you know, we love all the people that support us and just keep working hard to meet more people and keep spreading it out there.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm with it. What else you guys got fair wise coming up? You guys doing more of that this coming year?
Yeah.
Dude, got about like 15 more shows.
Something like that.
Yeah. Our next one will be the Vancouver night market. That's we'll do that one every month that we can. That's a more of a smaller one. But yeah, our next show we might be doing Lucky, but according to like all the USC stuff that's going on, we don't even know if that's actually going on.
Bro, that's some crazy shit. Yeah,
that's fucked up.
Some like $2 million. I mean, I'm sure it's like more than just like the like pasted stuff that we see on the news or on Reddit or whatever. I'm sure there is way more details, but yeah, I read about that shit. Like USC, like Paradiso might not be around anymore.
Well, what happened was the one company was given a bunch of money by the other company that they partnered with, and then a lot of vendors didn't get paid, or things didn't get paid in artists, and the money was disappeared or something like that. So now they're getting sued by the other company that gave them that money, and they're going to try and take over those events and still put them on.
I'd be fine with that. Insomniac is great. Insomniac is Pasquale Rotella, who does EDC. I think.
They do EDC.
Yeah, dude, I've been to a few EDCs in Vegas, like the big EDC. And
Still haven't gone.
Oh, bro, you would love it. It's so crazy. It's what like I think I would die now. Like I think I'm just like I'm too, I don't know, like old man and don't want to touch people. But it's so fucking fun. It's so sick. I want Shaylee and Megan to go, definitely, for sure.
We might get a booth down there here one of these years,
dude. That would be so fun. It's an experience. It's obviously all of Vegas is taken over, like just by, it's like everything is transformed. It's like kind of having like a theme in Vegas for a whole week is kind of what it is. Like, so like you wake up, like regardless of going to the Motor Speedway where it's only 12 miles, but it takes you like an hour and a half to get there because the traffic is so crazy. But outside of that, like you wake up and there's like pool party, like Cascades playing here and Afrojack's playing here. It's like there's just so much to do, too much to do, absolutely too much to do. But it's very cool to be like there, and you feel very like when you go to shows, like especially like electronic show, like it kind of feels like a lot of people kind of get permission to be their like full weird selves in a way, you know. I feel fine dancing around when there's other people dancing around fur boots next to me, you know, like that sort of thing. So yeah, bro, we all gotta get crazy, hard. Get it out, man. Yeah, but no, dude, you would love Vegas because it's all of Vegas is like that. Like while you're waiting for the bus, like while you're on your way there, like you're partying. There's a bunch of people who are like minded. Everybody's like super happy and pumped to have a good time. Yeah,
it's definitely our community.
Cool crowd.
Yeah.
They know what it's like to be woke.
More positive people.
They know what it's like to be woke.
Yeah, it's the best thing. I mean, pretty much from spring all the way through the fall is the road tripping season.
Yeah.
And being at fairs almost every weekend or every other weekend and stuff. And it's a lot of work, but it's all worth it. And, you know, we got to keep pushing the company out there, and it's a great way to spend the summer.
And that's the thing too. Like, even if like we don't make the sales that we expect to make at certain events, it's not even just about making the sales, but just meeting those people that we spoke about before, you know, making the impact on their life, you know, that they would have never got if we would have never gone. And just the fact that we're able to get our name out there to all these people that come to these events is what in the end actually makes it worth it.
Absolutely.
Because to us, it's not about making a dollar, but it's about making a difference. Yeah, we got to pay our bills, but like, I'd rather just be able to get our name out there and our messages out there as much as we can.
Right.
while we're on the road. So, and I think maybe next year when we start doing our own printing, you want to start doing shows like out of state too, like the Pacific Northwest. So maybe head down to California, do something there,
Right.
and then head down to Texas and start doing shows there because they have some of the biggest fairs out there too.
Right.
So not only that, last year we met this guy at the Puyallup State Fair, which is a 23-day long event. Ooh. And this guy was from California. This dude was like, he's like, I really like you guys' stuff. I guarantee if you guys were to go to California, you guys would kill it down there. And then he told us a couple shows to go to because he was obviously at a show in Washington, so,
right.
And he's from Cali, so. Yeah, next year we're excited to be able to travel more and do a little bit more in different communities, get our messages out there and, spark their minds around those communities to
right.
be conscious of, their actions and thoughts too.
To never stop growing.
Every day.
How do you guys balance, like, Beto, I know you love fishing, you like being outdoors. Obviously, like, like when it's something that you love doing and it's something that seems to go hand in hand with just your life, like it's, of course there's days where it feels like work. Of course there is those days where you're like, fuck, I just kind of like did paperwork today or whatever. Most of the time it's hand in hand. How do you guys work on balancing like the things that you enjoy in life? So Beto, I know that you like fishing outdoors. Andre, I don't know what do you like to do? What's your enjoyable things? How do you balance them with work?
Well, there's not a whole lot of time for play just because there's so much to do, especially in the early few years.
Of course.
But, we try to take a little bit of time every once in a while when we're able to. And I like, just being outside, hiking, riding motorcycles, exploring new places.
Right.
Very easily entertained, so it doesn't always take a whole lot.
Yeah.
But I grew up going to the sand dunes and riding quads down there. And, I like just taking things apart and work, building things or just reading, books and filling up my mind with new things and ideas. And, I don't get a whole lot of time, but, we have a lot of fun on our trips at least too. That keeps us entertained and full of, energy and new things.
So it's not like it's like a super separate, like, oh, okay, I got to stop working so I can do this. It's kind of just like you're plugging along. It's just part of your life. Like you're enjoying.
Yeah.
Just randomly fits in there.
Yeah. Just get up early and go for a hike or a walk, right. Or just whenever you can, just fit it in.
And another thing too, now that we got into the bigger shop and Justin's committed with us too, like it's definitely helped us get a little bit more extra time to be able to do whatever we want to do, Because that's the thing, it can't always be work. Like, you literally have to take a break here and there, because if not, you're going to exhaust yourself. And it makes it way harder if you just don't, take a day off at least to just go do your thing and do you.
Right, bro. Like, look at like that lady who messaged you. Like, if you were just working, and you haven't been sleeping, you haven't been like enjoying your life, you're stressed out, whatever. Like, she comes in, maybe you're not able to be your full self.
Exactly.
You're not able to give her
appreciate
the story,
that comment. That we did,
Right. Yeah. You could just glance it off because you're so busy, whatever.
Like, oh yeah, that's cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because as busy as we get, you still got to be able to stop and enjoy the moment and just kind of realize like what you're grateful for in your life and all the awesome reasons to be happy and just keep working hard too. Because, the time that you get off or time that you get to go outside and do that thing that you love doing is where you really get to unplug and, just think about what you're grateful for.
Attitude of gratitude.
Yeah. Attitude of gratitude. You guys ever like catch yourself like you lock up the store and you just like look at it and you're like,
oh hell yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Dude.
You're like, you gotta be proud of yourself, right? You gotta add that in there, man.
Just happy to be where we're at, and to see all of the hard work just coming together and building, each block one, block at a time. Awesome to see everything, because we don't really see we don't really think that we're that big or see ourselves coming that far, just because we're stuck in the everyday of all the little things coming together,
right.
And we're with it every single day. But every once in a while, we do kind of look back and think like, wow, we've done a lot.
Come a long way.
There's a lot that's built up so far.
Because that's the thing too. You get, looking from the outside in, like people from the outside are like, whoa, you guys are super like successful. You guys got 2 stores. You guys must be making a lot of money, yada, yada, yada. But it's
People
like,
always
dude, you
think
don't
that-
even know what we have to go through to be able to keep this going.
Everybody thinks it's so sweet and so quick. Like just because you have like something to show for it means you're like all making the money. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, it's years and years of struggle. It's years and years. It's
Not as easy as it looks.
yeah, but it's full circle. It's I was talking with one of my guests yesterday. We're talking about just like, bro, like if somebody handed you $1 million right now, like you probably wouldn't know what to do with it. Like sometimes it's like you gotta like, you know, work in the slow game, work in the like building up the skills. Like every conversation that you have is improving your conversation skills. Every shirt that you print is improving your ability to print shirts quickly and right on time. You know, those sort of things. Like everything adds up. Like it's all just going to compound into more and more skills, and then the more skills you have, that obviously opens up more doors. So
That's a compounding effect. You know, it's the little things that we do every single day that compound in the end result that we get. And not everybody can see all of the work that it takes to create anything, but that's why a lot of people quit on their dreams or don't even pursue it, just because it is a lot of stuff, or they might get overwhelmed. But you just have to be more focused on the end result and the long-term goals, because if your goals are big enough and further ahead in the future, that's what really pushes you ahead each day to get up and do the work and what it takes to get to the next level and not quit. You know, 'cause you can't quit. You never hear about any of the people who gave up.
Yeah, you don't hear about them. You about the ones that keep going. How do you balance? So sometimes I have trouble with like because when you're thinking about the end goal too much and not just the step in front of you, because there is a balance sometimes, like some days anyway,
Yeah, no doubt.
where like you don't even want to take that first step, because then that's like, fuck, now I got to hit the whole staircase after that. Like that starts the staircase. Like, so you see like this, like a lot of times it's like, oh, I don't want to start this clothing company because I know that it's going to be 20 years of like all this whatever. So sometimes our brains kind of trick us, right? It seems like. So how do you work on like taking the big goal? Like I know that like this is what our big goal is. Like I know we're going to keep going. I know that every day we're going to wake up and keep going towards this goal. But how do you condense it down to just how do I function today? Like how do I make sure I get my shit done today, so where it's not so overwhelmed? Because sometimes it's like I don't even want to hit that whole thing because it seems like so much weight on my chest to handle in one day, you know? No idea.
We feel that a lot.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, we're all human here.
Yeah,
and it's a common feeling. But I look at it as it's harder to not do that thing. Your life will be more difficult if you don't take action, because then you have to deal with the regret of the fact that you never took that step to try, and then it's going to take a lot of hard work to survive just doing anything. But it's going to take a lot of hard work to create what you really want to do. So you have to work hard anyway. So you might as well just do it, you know, and just keep going.
And it's all about just having the vision and knowing where you're heading and realizing that, yeah, it sucks now, but wait 20 years from now, like all this hard work and all the time that we put into this is going to pay off.
Right.
You know, and that's the thing. Another way that I'm able to balance it is I just tell myself, oh, you think this is hard? Well, guess what, buddy? It's only going to get harder from here.
Only going to get harder.
That's literally how I make myself think, because if, you know, there's been a lot of times where I'm like, damn, I'm like, what if we did just give up? But in the back of my mind, it's like, dude, like, quit telling yourself that, like, it's only going to get harder. So you think this is hard? Just wait.
Right.
So it makes me bounce out of it and be like, damn, all right, like, quit thinking like that. And then again, I just go back to feeding my mind the right things, because when I get stuck in a rut and start thinking negatively, you know, you got to find a way to get yourself out. And I feel like that's a big problem, and why people fail is because they don't know how to get out. Like I've been there so many times that I've been able to get out, and I know what works for me.
Right.
You know, and that's just putting the right things into my mind, whether it's, you know, reading a book or listening to a podcast or just listening to someone who's been able to get me out of that rut.
Right.
know?
Yeah. It's your diet, you know, not your diet, like just food, but your mental diet, right? Like what are you feeding yourself every day? It's so like, I feel like we talk about books all the time too. You mentioned books too. What are a couple of books you guys would suggest? Couple
right now,
leaders?
I'm
What do you got?
thinking The Magic of Big Thinking. And
I haven't heard of that.
you haven't heard. So that's all about just, you know, like instead of allowing yourself to just think about the regular things, think past of what you can actually do and believe in yourself to be able to go. Because one of our favorite sayings is, I'd rather aim high and miss than aim low and hit, because that's the thing. My goal used to be like, oh, let's just do 10 stores, but the more I've started to feed my mind, the more my vision has grown. Like now the goal is to have 1,000 shops one day, it's like, and I would have never been thinking this way if I, wasn't feeding myself the right things.
Right.
So that's my diet is, just keep thinking big, because you truly never know what you can actually do until you take action and believe in yourself.
Right.
So
I love it. What do you got in the way of books? You got anything that popped into your mind that's
one of the most
worth
impactful book that I read was back in high school, probably my sophomore year or so. And it was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Banger.
And yeah,
Banger
one of the greats. If you haven't heard of it, it's definitely a great place to start.
No
and
doubt.
It's not just the fact that what you believe in or what you think is just going to become a reality, like it's just going to happen one day. But anything that you want in life, I mean, you can achieve if you really put your mind in that, in that direction, and that's all you think about. You basically obsess over what you want to create and have in your life. And then, of course, you have to do the steps of what's necessary to get there.
Work,
but the power of the mind is far more incredible than what most of us even realize or even give it credit for. Because it's our habits and our thoughts and our actions that create our whole life that we get. So if you're tired of feeling a certain way or the results that you get in life, it's probably the thinking that we have day to day. It's our subconscious mind. Because that's what influences how you react to everything that happens to you, the decisions that you make, and how you think and how you feel, and every bit of it. So once I read that, I kind of realized like you really have to be conscious of what you put into your mind and the beliefs that you have every day about your own future and yourself. Because if you don't feel good about yourself, or you don't feel good about your future, it's not going to be good. You're going to live a mediocre life, or you got all these problems and it's only going to get worse. Then that's exactly the life that you're going to create for yourself.
Right. It's a like it's shitty feedback loop that you can get stuck in.
Yeah. Because it's exactly what happens.
Yeah,
you wake up one day and your alarm didn't go off, and you're mad, and you trip down the stairs, and you spill your coffee on yourself, and you're late for work.
You start saying, of course this happens to me. This always happens to me. It starts like compounding.
Yeah, exactly. And what happens? Your day gets worse.
Yeah.
But if you wake up in the morning and you think, wow, it's a great day to be alive. I'm grateful for all the opportunities that I have and all the things that, are around me. This is what I'm going to create, and this is the person I will become. And you believe that over and over and over again, over time, you'll see your life go in a totally different direction.
Right.
So that's the biggest thing that really changed my life at a young age, was just the power of your own belief in your mind, your thoughts.
Yeah. That's very powerful, man. I'm with that. What you got, buddy?
Like on the slide edge, this is something that stuck with me. And it says, your philosophy creates your attitude, your actions, your results, which creates your life. That's why I like to say your philosophy and how you view life is everything, because that's who you are. Just the way that you do things starts with how you think of things. And a lot of us don't really think about that. Yeah,
you don't stop and think like, shit, it's all got to pass through my mind. Exactly. What am I telling about my mind? Like, what am I saying in here? I think a lot of people don't really, like, they don't ever question it, so they don't realize that it's hitting them. They don't realize that it's going through them. So me, for example, like I would have a lot of days where, because your subconscious mind, 95% of your habits, you just keep doing the same thing. So when you're not like really trying, or I had a lot of things that I just kept compounding and kept thinking about and kept just like refeeding, right? And you wake up and you feel like it's like, oh, cool. That seems like a cool dream, but it seems unrealistic because you're like not feeding your brain the right thing. So what I would do a lot of times is I would wake up, and I still do this. So wake up and I put on like Tony Robbins, or I put on Jim Rohn or some motivational, whatever.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, bro. And I went through, the last like year and a half, 2 years, like it's 70% of my days I wake up and do some sort of something like that, just because I'm like, dude, I've had some long way to come back from, like I had some darkness that I was dealing with. But dude, now it's like, I've trained my subconscious, like months and months of doing that. And now it's like I wake up and I'm like, even if I don't have the motivational video, I'm like, I know what fucking mindset I need to be in, bro. I'm a winner today. That's who I am. Like in sometimes the thoughts still come up, and some people, I don't know if you guys ever dealt with this, but sometimes it's like you got your dream and it seems great. And then all of a sudden Tuesday you wake up and you're like, I want to die.
Yeah.
Like out of nowhere, bro. And you're like, what the fuck? Everything's going great. What is happening? But you got to be able to insert those like knowing you have your big goal, like you guys say, like you guys know, like we're gonna have this many stores, like we're gonna do this, like knowing that to always grab onto, even when it feels unrealistic, that's a great grappling hook on days like that. But also just like you guys said, feeding your mind the right things, you know, like the books you mentioned, any books, any sort of like TED Talks, any sort of like things that you're absorbing in the mornings when you wake up, if you ever have any like. So I think what I run around with on that, I guess, is like any like new dreamers, like if you got an idea, listener, like if you got a clothing company, if you got whatever, but you also got some discouragement, you got like this idea, this thing that you want to do, like however old you are, like I think I could really fucking do this thing, and like I want to shoot big, but you also have this thing that says you're dumb, you suck, you can't do that. You gotta change your mindset. You gotta change what your diet is, your mental diet. You know, start reading some books, start checking out TED Talks, start checking out motivational videos. You know, I feel like Beth and we always talk about like, oh, if you checked out this or checked out this, we'll send each other a few months like books or something. It seems like, or the cover of it at least. Yeah, dude, I think it's super important to train your diet. I think a lot of times we like have a diet, a mental diet of like stuff that we're intaking and we don't even realize it. Like we just check our phones every day and we just check the news every day and we just keep
and so much of it's negative
us.
out there too.
It's all negative.
So if you're not consciously putting positive things or the right things in your mind, it's going to be filled up by something. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're not constantly feeding your mind with ambitious thoughts and goals and things that make you excited, your mind's going to be occupied by something. You know, and I figure you gotta live and die anyway. You gotta think anyway. You might as well fill it with the things that you really care about or that really make you excited or that juice you up. And I did that all the time. I mean, for years, whenever I felt bad or, you know, in a different state, I would just turn something on that was positive, that would make me think in a new way or give me a new thought or somebody that, you know, had something good or positive to say. Because it really empowers you to have a lot more of those powerful voices around you and behind you to tell you to keep going or, you know, share other people's stories of the difficult things that they've had to go through. Because I've always looked at it as like, you know, no matter how bad you think you may have had life, there's always somebody else or a lot of other people that have had it way worse than you have.
Right.
You know, if you think your problems are bad, then there's always more people that have had things that are a lot harder to go through than what you've had to deal with. Mm-hmm. And not putting down, you know, the difficult things that we go through, because those are actually important. You know, it's the struggles that we go through every day and the unexpected issues and problems and crises that happen in our life that make you stronger. You know, they make you into who you are. But you also have a decision on how you want to react to it. You know, you can look at it as like a victim standpoint or a bad thing that happened to you that you have to deal with, or it can be something that is thrown in your way that you learn from that makes you stronger and better. You know, that you can use for your own advantage because you had to go through it anyway. You know, you got to deal with it one way or another. Right. So you might as well make it help you get better. Yeah.
It's like, now what? It's like the thing happened and then there's their reaction to it.
Right.
Like it's not like we accompany them. Like the thing happened and I'm mad, I'm upset or whatever it is. You know, I'm not going to follow it, but we got to separate. Here's the thing that happened and here's what I'm going to do about it.
Right.
That's why I like to say, like, I went through a lot of stuff growing up and I saw a lot of bad things and I hurt in many ways, but it's like I appreciate all those times because if I would have never gone through all of the pain and seen everything that I've seen, like I wouldn't be the person that I am today.
Right.
You know, so like he was saying, like just appreciate the bad times. And, you know, bad times are always going to be coming. So when they get here, you know, just try to find a way to get out of that rut, regardless how hard, you know, you think life is going for you. So.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, we're all human. You know, it's fine to express your emotions. It's not like we're supposed to be walking around all day, every day in just some eager state of bliss where you're just
stoic and weirdly
happy and
I'm
stuff.
I'm so happy today.
You know, noticed your wife died yesterday. How you doing? I'm great, Jim.
Right.
I'm optimistic.
You know, it's healthy to cry too. It's good to show how you're feeling about something or, you know, remember something or somebody or, you know, things like that or loved ones that we lose and stuff. Because, you know, it happens. It's part of being human.
Yeah.
But it's also how you react to that and what you do afterwards that dictates the results that we get in the end of life.
Absolutely.
You know, it's every little thing, every little thought, little action, you know, sleeping in, not doing that thing that you think or that you know you need to do, or not chasing those ideas that you have in your mind. Everybody's unique and different, and every single person can bring something out that's, awesome that they created. It's just, you have to just do it.
Right.
One of the most powerful things that I've ever heard was, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Because it's true. If you really believe that you can do it, you can do it. But if you listen to everybody else or the things that tell you that you can't, you'll never even try.
Yep.
Or you'll give up when it gets difficult because you don't think you can do it. But if you just don't care, or even just acknowledge all the reasons of why you can't do something or why you're not supposed to have anything, and just you do it on your own mind and your own self, and you just refuse to quit, you will get it in the end. Because people are rewarded in public for what they struggled for in private, is another good way to look at it.
Yes.
So you really can't have anything that you want. I mean, there's people that have came from nothing and created incredible lives and things for themselves. And there's always somebody that's had it worse than you did that rose out of that and did something better. So I don't see any reason why anybody can't have what they really want in life. It just takes a lot of work to get it. But it takes a lot of hard work to survive if you don't get it too.
Right.
So
I feel like that work is worth it too. It's like, because you realize like the work, you separate it from your life as if it's like, and then I'll start my life. But it's like, no, the work, like if you choose to follow your dream, you get to work, and that is your life, and,
right.
And you get to enjoy the work. People, I think we forget that we can choose that. We can choose, like, you kind of choose your pains in a way. It's like you want to feel pain in this way or in the other way of not completing it. Yeah, man, that's the thing of beauty.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity out there, especially with the internet today and social media and all the ways to connect with different people
Right.
and different business models. I mean, there's more opportunity in this world now than there ever has been in the entire human history.
Right.
So there's even less of an excuse to not be creating the life that you want to get.
Right.
And it's going to be difficult, and you're going to feel all the range of emotions, and you're probably going to want to quit a lot, but that's totally normal. Everybody that's made it has all talked about the same things, growing pains, but they just didn't give up.
Right.
And if you want something bad enough, just, you shouldn't be giving up on it anyway if you really, really want it. And you have to be that stubborn with your goals and your dreams in your life that this is going to happen, and this is the only route, or I'm going to die.
Yep. Hell
The
yeah.
ships have been burned.
This is
We're
it.
surviving on the island.
We're here. We're here to fight.
Right.
We're doing
Because
it.
what life do you get if you're not chasing that? It's not very fulfilling or exciting.
Yeah.
You got to fight for what you want as bad, more than giving up on what the difficult things that are thrown in your way.
Right.
And, another thing that we listened to from one of our mentors was, you have to become resourceful when in lack of resources. And that's what builds a lot of our character up, because we didn't have money or anything to start what we've done. Like, this started with 24 shirts in Rob's trunk, in high school, with the money that he saved up from lunch or whatever.
Yeah. He probably gave me like 4 of them too at some point. Like, thanks for DJing, man.
Exactly.
Literally,
So, but it's those things. It's the hard times that create the character and teach you the lessons that you need to learn that make you more resourceful. Because then when you have the resources, you're not just going to blow it in stupid things or, waste it, because you've had to deal with less and come from that. So it really is a powerful thing to come from nothing and learn all the ways of how you can create something out of nothing and then make it into something.
Right. And I think you'll be consistently shocked at like how impressive you can be too. Like, a lot of times it's like, man, 6 weeks ago I thought that I wasn't going to be able to do this shit at all. And then here I am, like, oh, we're in the next step now. That thing's done. I'm not even stressed about that thing,
Right.
I think a lot of people, you'll be surprised at when you just believe in yourself and just give yourself, like, I'm going to fucking try it. I'm going to do it.
Hey, you can't get stuck with thinking that, I don't know how to do this, so I can't do it at all.
Right.
Right. There's all kinds of
Exactly.
things that I don't know how to do that I end up figuring it out. Like,
Yeah.
I changed the front end on my truck just off YouTube, looking up videos on how to do the brakes and
YouTube.
rotors and calipers and all that stuff, and going through them a bunch of different times. But
Yeah.
I figured it out, building websites and all these different things with business and legal stuff and paperwork and how to, make clothes and schedule events and all the logistics that go into every little thing. Like, I didn't know any of this going into it.
But now that you've gone through the process of like learning it, it's not like you just magically hit a button and you just know it and it's like, okay, I got these answers I needed. It's like going through the process of learning it and like maybe fucking up on some of it along the way.
Yeah.
You know, like that learning it is what's important.
Right.
You can't undervalue that. And, like,
too, like there's been a lot of like expensive lessons we've had to pay for.
No doubt.
But that's just all part of the deal, you know? It's like, it's not really a mistake. It's a lesson, you know? You had to pay all this money to figure out it didn't work that way.
Right.
So
We didn't pay to go to college. We paid for our lessons.
Yeah.
And that's how we learn.
Yeah, dude, you make the mistakes, dude. And I love the talking about like learning from YouTube. I think that's so important. That's something that like this is like somewhere around 30 to 35 podcast episodes now. And that's been like a huge prevalent thing. It's like a lot of people probably just because around our age and stuff, but they're like, yeah, I learned from YouTube, learn from YouTube.
Yeah. I call it the University of YouTube.
Yeah, bro. I mean, the amount of shit that I learn on YouTube, I am doing the equivalent of traveling to the top of the mountains to like meet the shamans and the monks. I feel like with the amount of like information that I learn every day about meditation and in Buddhism and all these things that I like read about and listen to on YouTube. Like, and you guys the same way, like about what's in your lane, like something comes up, like, well, we're gonna have to deal with it. Let's learn how to do it.
Figure it out.
We have these tools at our fingertips. Not that it's like I have the magical answer. Like you still got to fucking put in the work. Like if your dryer breaks, just because you found the YouTube tutorial how to fix your dryer doesn't mean it's fixed. Like you still got to take that thing apart. I'm just saying that because one day I was super prideful back in the day. The YouTube thing, I spent a whole day taking apart my dryer because I was like, I can do this with YouTube. And like at the end of the day, it was dark and I took apart the whole dryer situation and I was like, all right, this thing's broken for sure. But I know now, I know that I was like, okay, I can't fix this dryer, you know? But I gave it a try. And I mean, I think I like angrily like forgot all of it, but I'd like to think that I know a little bit more about dryers now.
Right.
You never know until you try.
Right.
And I think that's something that Andre and I are both starting to lean towards too, is like we've realized we wear so many hats that like we shouldn't wear all the hats. Like him and I should focus on the things that we're good at. So going on 2020, we're slowly going to start reaching out to more people who are actual professionals in certain things, you know? So that's another thing. Don't try to do everything and thinking that you can do it. Like, yeah, YouTube will teach you a lot, but literally, if
let the plumber do the plumbing.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, don't let it hold you back. Yeah, bro, don't think you need to fucking take apart your dryer every day. I feel
perfect example, right?
Definitely don't mess with electrical wiring.
Well, because you know that's the thing is like, as people up at the top, it's like you get to a point where it's like, well, we can't continue progressing if we don't, pass the torch may not be the right terminology there, but like, all right, like we trust you guys to handle this in the storefront and we're going to start working on these things. Like,
exactly.
It's kind of, just a good leader takes care of even the management, so like the management, whatever decisions they're making is backed up by the leader, and you guys are forever growing past that and saying like, what does it mean to be a leader in our company, and that's going to keep progressing. Well,
that's how you grow too. It's like, I remember my mindset at the beginning of the stages, and my mindset was, this is my company and I'm going to do everything myself, Yep. But as I started to feed my mind more things, it was more like, whoa, like, you can't build an empire alone. Like, when has that ever happened? You need a team. You need the right people on the bus to do the right things for you. And, it's an effort for everyone to get together and put their minds together, just like this, like, I hope there's a lot of minds that we spark out there just by having this conversation.
I hope so. I bet.
And then who was the guy that built the steel company?
It was Carnegie.
Yeah, Carnegie. Like, I remember like listening to a podcast and
Dale Carnegie?
Yeah, Dale Carnegie. Yeah, it was Dale Carnegie. So
okay. I don't know if it was Dale or not. I just know the name Dale Carnegie came together in my head.
It was one of them.
Someone. But anyway, like, someone's like, how'd you build like the #1 steel company in the world? He's like, I know nothing about steel. He's like, but I just knew how to get the right people to work together.
Right.
So it's like, you just got to get the right people to work together and the right people on the bus to help you grow the vision that you've created.
Yeah.
And the fact that he became the #1 steel company and probably one of the richest mans ever to live in America and like make the biggest impact on America is like, dang, okay, like you knew some shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like,
but it wasn't the steel shit.
Yeah, you know, like it right. It ain't about the product as much as it is about like the why. The why, really. Like the why of your company. Like if someone walks in and they say, "What's the why of your company?" Like you guys are gonna be like, "Well, shit, all right." And you're gonna start talking and they're like, "Fuck, okay, I get it."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and if you can keep that why throughout the whole thing. I was thinking about this. Simon Sinek is somebody who I really like.
Yeah. Yep. We have a couple of his books in our shop.
Oh, dude, he's fantic.
I love his shit.
Excellent. Yeah, I've read a couple of his too. He has a couple lectures, but he talks about knowing your why. Oh shoot, I forgot what I was going to say about it exactly. Okay. But so he was talking about way back in the day. He did a talk. He did a talk for Apple, and then he did a talk for Microsoft. Mm-hmm. Or Microsoft first and then Apple. And then it was back in the day when he had the Zunes, remember before the iPod came out, it was like the Microsoft Zune or Zoom.
Oh yeah.
Like, and it was like it was cool. It was good, but it wasn't like, it was before iPod. So obviously iPod, like the iPod video blew it out of the water, but right before that. Yeah. So he talks about how he was in this cab drive, and he's like the guy who's driving is an Apple guy. And he's like, I couldn't help it. I had to, so he goes, I did some work for Microsoft and they gave me the Zune. It's a lot better than the iPod. Like he remembers saying this, like in the guy driving just goes, I have no doubt.
Simon said that?
Yeah. So Simon said it to the driver who works for Apple. Simon was essentially saying like, hey, I did this talk for Microsoft. They gave me the Zune. Like it's pretty cool. It's better than the iPod. Mm-hmm. And the guy, instead of being like, it's not better than the iPod, he goes, of that I have no doubt. And it's kind of this thing like, and then he talked about how the differences in their companies, like when he went and talked to them, Microsoft was constantly concerned with like, after that, like, how do we be better than Apple? Like their goal, like he said he went to their conference, their meeting or whatever, and they're always talking about like, how do we beat Apple? Here's how we're going to beat Apple. And then this presentation, this guy comes up and he has a presentation. We're going to beat them with this way. And we're going to beat this other company with this. And then he said he went to the Apple company and they didn't mention any other companies. They just talked about like, here's what we're going to keep doing to continue like what we believe in, you know?
Like we said on the first podcast, it's not about being better than anyone. It's about being the better version of ourselves.
You're only in competition with yourself.
Exactly. Because why would you rather focus your time on what other people are doing when you can focus your time on what you could do better for yourself? You know, exactly. Don't waste any time thinking about anyone else or what they're thinking of you either. You know, just do you.
Yeah, bro, eat your dinner plate. Like, stop looking at other people's food. On, bro, it's sitting right in front of you. It's getting cold. Like, you know? I think J. Cole had like a rap line about that. Like, something about like you're too busy watching other people's plates that your dinner's getting cold, you know? And that's, I don't know, I think that's the thing, and you guys do it super well, is you just, like, it ain't like, it's not that you guys have like, you know, competition that you were going against or whatever. You're like trying to like get in a certain lane and directly compete against anybody, but it's like, you're just focused on your shit. Like, we're pushing our vision.
And that's the thing. It's like, it was never about like me trying to be better than anyone. It was me like, this is what I want to do and this is what I'm going to do. Like, I'm not
just saying that's what Apple did. Just saying.
Yeah. Exactly. I have no doubt in my mind that we'll make it to where we see ourselves going one day. Right. That's the thing. You got to see it in your mind before you can create it in reality. You know, if you don't know where you're going, you're going to keep going in circles. So it's about having the vision of where you're going and realizing that the journey is not going to be easy. Right. So adjust to every level you get to, because there's always a new level.
I like that.
Unless you just let it die. then you're dead.
Then game over.
Hey, but when you choose when you choose that ain't an option, when it's like I feel like with it's like, you're like, it's not an option. It's like, whatever happens.
Till I die, dude. Like,
it's not
I remember when I came up with the company in high school, like, I always used to tell myself that, like, till I die. And that's the thing. Till I die is not just a saying. It's actually has meaning behind it. Till I die is all about just committing to your vision and realizing that you're going to do whatever it takes to get you to where you're at until you're in a coffin.
Right.
That's I till I die.
Well, and then
Committing.
if you commit, then when something comes down the trail, when it comes down like, wow, crazy big problem happened, it's kind of like a relationship, right? Like when you get married, it's like, just because a big argument happens doesn't mean we're going to get a divorce. Like we're going to figure this shit out. Like it's like, bro, what you got to set that star, you know, you got to be like, we're doing this. Like it's like shit's going to get crazy hard. We know that. We don't know how hard it's going to get. We don't know what's going to happen. We're going to have problems that we are so not fucking prepared for, but we're going to get through them because we know it. Like you got to set that value point, that North Star, you know. You guys definitely have done that well, and it comes across, and everybody who walks into the store gets to experience that. Right. Yeah. All right. Hey, let's switch it up again real quick. If zombies break through that fucking window right there, what's your move?
Hopefully I'm the fastest one out of here.
You think you're the fastest one out here? All right. Well, I'm the farthest one.
So that's the goal.
Well,
okay.
I'd probably.
So you don't have to be the only, the fastest. You just got to be the, first one to get out.
I gotta trip over. You guys are gonna get it.
Probably break a mirror and then stab one in the head, and then hopefully that one blocks them from the rest of them coming in, and then we all run. Yeah.
But then we got like, all right, what do we do next?
And then we try to put stuff on the doorway so no one else can get in. And then
you think we lock it in down here?
Huh? I think getting on a cruise ship is probably the best bet.
Bro, did you hear about
spacecraft?
Or spacecraft? Yeah, maybe the aliens come back in and they save us. Did you hear about the kind of similar to the virus thing, but so with the coronavirus over in China, just to time date where we're at right now, and if you guys heard about that, but there's a cruise ship who like there's like a.
You literally was just talking about.
You were just talking about this. You might know more about it than me. Can you tell me? It's like a cruise ship that's like their sickness locked in or something.
Yeah, there's like a couple thousand people on it. It's been stuck since I think February 3rd under quarantine.
Oh my god!
All the people are stuck in their rooms.
Bro, I would lose my fucking mind.
Yeah, and there's like 70 people that have been infected with the virus.
No, I can't imagine that those rooms are very big. I've never been on a cruise ship myself, actually.
Yeah, I've never been, but they're definitely not that big.
Yeah, they're small.
Yeah, they try and pack as many in as
well. And also, I saw a picture, and it's like they could see the shore. Like they're like, we're right here.
Yeah, and they said that it was kind of a anxiety-filled experience when you see all the ambulances sitting over there on the on the shore. And
oh my god,
yeah, that would be
that's crazy. That's a real world thing.
Yeah,
it's scary.
Yeah, I mean,
you never know what's going to happen.
There's been some bad viruses out there. The Black Plague that killed like a third of the world's population.
Yeah.
That was a pretty rough deal. So,
God, it's weird to think about that. We could have we could just massively have a bunch of people die. Like, what was the? I mean, I don't know a ton about it, but like even Indians back in the day, wasn't there was it the Black Flag that like took out a lot of the Indian people that when we came over here?
Well, a lot of Europeans brought over different, bugs, I guess, that people over here hadn't experienced before.
Right.
So their immune systems weren't built up to it.
Right.
And, the U.S. military gave a bunch of blankets infected with like smallpox or something to the Indian people, and kind of like a biological weapon.
Yikes.
In a way. Pretty messed up.
You think they did it on purpose?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck, bro.
It was, yeah.
There's so much of that crazy stuff in history.
Yeah, they don't talk about all that stuff in history class.
Why didn't they teach that to us in 10th grade? I don't understand.
You gotta teach that, we're obviously the good guys and didn't do anything wrong.
Isn't that pretty crazy to think? Like, that's something that, like, as you get older, it's like, wow, that's kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like truths, like what you read in your history book in high school. Like, I guess I get it, but it's not the truth.
It'd be expressed a little bit differently depending on what country you're growing up in.
Like if you read like my 9th grade history book, this chapter, and then you go to China and read their 9th grade history book, like it's probably going to say a very different story about the same.
Well, and just the news media in different parts of the world is always different.
Right.
Because it's owned by certain people over here, and certain agendas are trying to be pushed out, and then different things around the world. Right. You hear a different side of the story in different places. So it's kind of a crazy thing to think about.
Well, now our news is even like if you watch this news network, it's telling you completely different things than this news network. And like even just in the same city, the person next door to me could be listening to completely different news network about the exact same situation.
Right.
Like, and it's like, fuck these people, they suck. And then I'm listening to one that's like, these people are awesome. And it's the same situation.
Yeah.
It's we live in a very weird world for news.
Yeah.
But I think that if there was some zombie action, and I don't know, it'd be hard if it was like I always like these situations where it's like, okay, there's zombies, but you got like 3 days. Like I always like where it's like you got
Before
3
the
days.
zombies show up?
Yeah, like so it's like, you get some secret, like like some text, like it's like, hey bro, like I know I'm not supposed to tell anybody this, but I work for the CIA. I love you, bro. Like
zombies are coming.
Like zombies are coming. You got 3 days. Like. Like that situation is easier for me. I think that I would just mostly panic if there were zombies coming through the window, and I would just like think I'm tougher than I am, and probably just get bit by it or something.
You got
but
low windows, so they're going to be coming in.
I know they're going to be.
Oh, how much I love her.
Call her, Mom, can I get a ride? All right, but wait, what about that? If you had 3 days where you can prepare, like you can go like before anybody else knows, though. That's the thing is you got to be able to tell the right amount of people, but not everybody, because you're going to cause mass hysteria.
You got time to prepare. You might as well just take as much supplies up and get just away from the population areas as you can. That means more zombies.
You would rather
higher
populations, like the woods.
Probably better.
I would for sure.
You'd probably have less zombies out there than you would in the cities.
That's true.
There's more humans at.
But you wouldn't know what's going on. Like, what if the whole city, like, it's been 2 years and they're like, oh, we're fine. We figured that out. And you're like,
still living out in
and you're like, you have fucking tiki torches still. You're like saving your fuel and eating like the same sandwich for 3 months.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe look for planes flying around or something.
Just be a little hopeful.
See if the government has came in yet. That's how you'd find out. I guess,
bring a solar phone charger so you could charge your phone off the sun.
There you go.
Then if your service comes back on, you can go back.
But if you go so far out, though, you don't really have service. Like if you're doing it right, you're like not somewhere where you have service.
You got to
that's the thing too. It's like you would have to build like a fort and like all this crazy shit too.
You probably have to come back for more supplies too.
But what if but that's the thing. What if you built the fort too and like it's not as sturdy as you want it to be and like you don't have the supplies to make it survivable?
Yeah, you realize you got a piece of shit fort. You suck at building forts.
Yeah,
you know how to take apart a dryer, but you can't build a fort.
So.
Yeah, then when the forest zombies come, then you're really in trouble.
Yeah, once those guys come around.
It kind of depends though if it's we always talk about if it's like the World War Z zombies, like the ones that are just fucking crazy and sprinting at you, or the ones that are just like, whoa, what's up?
Yeah.
Like just scooting at you.
True.
You know?
Right.
I thought about that before too.
Yeah, if they can run, then that's really going to suck.
Oh my God, dude. There'd be nothing scarier than a zombie that can run.
Yeah.
Just sprinting at you.
Yeah. How long does it take for them to get tired?
Do they outrun? Like, do they just keep going until their like stuff falls off? Like their leg just falls off?
Right.
I mean, if they don't have any sort of like, well, I'm tired and it's hurting my feet. My feet hurt.
They're not even using lungs. Come on.
Yeah, it's funny. Like we're this scenario, it's like we don't even know how they walk around, but in zombie movies, they figured out with no breathing air, but they just walk around.
Yeah.
We just watched Warm Bodies, and they have like towards the end. Have you guys seen that one, Warm Bodies?
No. Is that on Netflix? Or is that a new one?
It's not new. It's a few years old, but it's good. It's a nice movie. It's not like a scary zombie movie. It's kind of like an irony. It's essentially like from it's essentially like this guy who's like your typical like mid-20s guy, and he's like, yeah, so I'm a zombie now, and here's how it is. It's kind of like that humor.
I think I've
It's
seen
sick.
that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But at the end they start to like become more human and stuff, and they show like the light in their heart starts to shine on.
Oh yeah,
like
dude, I've seen that one.
Dude, wouldn't
that
be fucked up if we're like we got 3 years deep of just like we've adapted to this killing zombies life, like we don't see it like, oh, that's my mother's body, but like I know she's a zombie, like I don't even feel anything, just kill her, like we've gotten like to that place of like there's just zombies.
Danger.
Yeah, you just kill them, but then they start waking up and they start like, all right, hey, we're feeling better now, let us in. You'd be like, wait,
still don't want to eat your brains now.
Yeah. Are you sure about that?
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
I always love that movie I Am Legend with Will Smith.
Yo, that's a fucking classic.
See, those zombies are all whole nother level.
I wouldn't want to fuck with those zombies.
No,
especially the main one, leader.
Oh man,
yeah,
it's a demon.
They'd kill me fast.
It's weird to think that because like, it's just a movie, but like they get smarter technically, but it's kind of like smarter in a different direction than humans getting smarter. Like it's not like they're getting more brain cells and they're like learning. I mean, I guess I don't know. It's a fucking movie, but like they're learning in like a weird different way than us. Like they're not progressing towards being more human. They're progressing more towards being more of like whatever the primitive
surviving
like virus they have become in human form. It's super interesting. All right, boys. Hey, we are getting up here a little bit in time.
Yeah, it seems like.
Is there anything that you want to make sure that the world knows?
Don't quit.
Don't quit.
Whatever it is that you want to do in your life, you can do it. Just don't quit. You know, you can have it if you're just stubborn enough to not ever give up on what you want.
Keep going. Keep going. Yeah.
Because there's always so many things that'll come up that you'll doubt yourself, or always an endless supply of obstacles and, hard times, or whatever the economy might be, or what people might think, or, what your relatives or friends or whoever's opinions might be of what you think that you can do. But to a certain point, you just have to just not acknowledge that. Just do what you really feel is that you want to do with your life. Because you can have it if you just don't give up.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, just don't quit.
My main thing for this one would be appreciate your struggle, because struggle is what builds you. How do you think diamonds are formed? They're built through pressure, and heat to become the diamond. And not only that, it takes a lot of hard work to get there. So just realize it's going to take a lot of work, and your journey is going to be more of an up and down roller coaster than you think it is.
Right.
Because once you get to a certain level, you think you got it down, then you reach a new level, and it only gets that much harder. And you just think life's almost over, or your journey's over, but there's always a solution, and you'll eventually find it. So keep going and appreciate those times.
Right,
because when you get to the right level, or the level you've been wanting to reach, you're going to be like, damn, like I knew I could do it. So keep going.
Keep going. I love it, boys. Hey, it was a fucking pleasure. We're going to have to do this more often, right? I feel like it's a good combo with the two of you. Great. It was a pleasure. Thanks for coming over, and thanks for giving the world a little bit of your brains tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Thank you for letting us be here, and my second time here, so
yeah, there'll be plenty more, my friend.
We'll be back.
Much
love, everyone.
All right, take care of yourselves, listeners. Have a good rest of your day. Junkyard Love Podcast out.